God save the Queen. Fascist regime. Made you a moron. Potential H-bomb. Bang. Yeah, well, I can remember the summer of 77. I think I would be 11, something, 12 even. No, 11. So there you go. And I can remember I wasn't quite old enough to be a punk, but I got with the sentiment, and I enjoyed the energy and like the lyrics. Sex Pistols, anyway. And anyway, it's gloomy, because it's evening time. It's only just gone 6 o'clock. But that's the time of year since the clocks have gone back, and I wish they wouldn't mess with the clocks, because it just messes me up. It just, although I don't really follow the clock that much, I realise other people do, so I've got to sort of mesh in, so I can't just turn up somewhere and they think it's an hour later, or is it sooner? Anyway, I've had doing a bit of work recently, just unpaid, of course. Well, not of course, but in this instance. And I've done it for a friend who doesn't think we're really living on a spinning ball. He didn't really know, it's one of them on the fence ones. And but he, seeing as I was there, he was asking me some really good questions. So there's progress. He's thinking about it. So he's not just like brushed it off. Because we are good friends, and he would think I've gone mad, else he wouldn't have asked me around to do what I did for him, which was some building work. And if you're crazy, I wouldn't imagine you could do that sort of thing. And he knows that I wouldn't put my heart and soul into something if I didn't totally know it was correct. So that's what would have cast the doubt in his mind on the spinning ball bullshit. Now, I'm not saying I've got a massive influence over this person, but we are, we've been friends since 11 or 12 or something like that. So we do, understand each other. And I've got a close sort of group of friends which are all like that. And, well, progress is being made, shall we say. So, Pete, if you're listening, you're not upside down. And hope you're all right, man. Anyway, it's ridiculous now for people to even presume we might be living on a spinning ball. It's so ridiculous. So I've had a couple of friends visit me on Friday, which was great. It was great to see them. Always great to see old friends. Even though one of them is teetering on the fence, and the other one is actually, in my mind, in my opinion, until Friday, was that he was a staunch Globe believer. But I know he's always had an open mind, and he did come round to 9/11, which was a great relief for me. And he knows that I've been into this for 3 years now, and he knows also that I'm not an idiot. Of course, water could never bend, it could never curve, it could never, a huge body of water, like, say, the oceans, could not adhere to a ball, or could bend around. I mean, come on, fucking hell. So another friend asked me a quite good question, but it was disturbing as well because well, it just suggests to me that if you do want to know more about this subject, you know, like obviously we're not living on a spinning ball, and if you want some kind of good information or something that would confirm that, then if you go to YouTube or the internet, you're going to get a load of bullshit, first of all, offered to you. In fact, I've got downloaded a piece of software that downloads YouTube videos, and that's how I watch and keep up to date with things. Because I'm not online here, so I've probably got fleas as well, or lops or something. What was I saying? Yeah, and the YouTube downloader that the one I've got anyway, you type the thumbnail title in absolutely perfectly, you know, using small case, punctuation, all that, whatever it says, you replicate it, duplicate it, and then wait for it to search for it, and then it'll come up, and it'll come up with quite a few, not just the one, quite a few other ones as well. And it quite often, I would say probably 50% of the time, if not more, puts some total bullshit that's not, well, it's connected, but it's not connected via the letters. So if I put Fred Vlogs in, it'll come up John Smith instead, you know, but no, Fred Blogs, and the second one might be Fred Blogs, but why has it come up with John Smith? I don't mean, you know, the John Smith doing the tour of the world in his camper van. I don't mean that, you know. I'm just saying a name, a very common, you know, you know what I'm saying. So what's happening there? Are they deliberately diverting the good stuff to the bottom of the heap? Yes, I think they are. That's just my opinion. I have no proof of that, but the more I hear about things, anyway. Yeah, this other friend, he said, oh, I said that nastily, but I didn't mean it nastily. I meant he's a really good friend. But he asked, why doesn't somebody just get a plane and fly? And I said, well, okay, right. I don't have any money to be able to do that. I couldn't even take a bus. You know, I haven't got the money to take a bus there, never mind a plane. And of course, you need a plane. And then I think I told, maybe I didn't tell him, but of course we know that, was it Greater Sapien? Some idiot, total moron, started to, was it crowdfund the money to charter a flight from, just let's say, New York, because it doesn't really matter where, north. You see, I'm doing this as though it's a globe, and that was in his mind. It's a globe, idiot. North from New York, over the North Pole, across the Pacific Ocean, up the back, over the South, under the South Pole. Fuck you now. Up the other side, back to New York again. Now, everybody I knew who knew about this said he's an idiot, he's a moron, that what he's doing is just some kind of scam maybe. And sure enough, that's what it was. That's what it turned out to be, a scam. Because nobody was ever going to get on that plane, because it was never going to do that route. And look, I think if you've got maybe if you have the amount of money that it would take to be able to do that, just to get a big plane with lots of fuel and fly, I don't know whether you'd have to stop to refuel. I've no idea. Probably not, if they can, actually use compressed air instead of fuel. But I don't know about that. But I think that the air temperature is quite similar to if you get up. The air is very cold and the air temperature is very similar, no matter if you're above the hot climates or the cold climates. So I don't think the cold will be an issue. But the more I see of, I'm kind of, I'm all over the place. I know I am. But more people are asking pertinent questions, because they hopefully can see the bullshit, can see through the bullshit, and get to the good stuff. And the good stuff really should come from in here. You should be able to think logically about why people are waking up to reality, i.e. we're not living on a spinning ball. It's a totally ridiculous and stupid idea. And when people have got a feeling for what's going on, like what they call it, the zeitgeist or whatever, that's what's happening right now. And I can kind of feel it. I don't know. I've got a sense of it going on, and people I speak to talk to me about it. Now, that might be because I have a big sticker on my car proclaiming that the Earth is bollocks, the globe Earth is nonsense. But the people who know me, ask me things like, "What if you did this? Would it be like that?" Well, and sometimes I have to say, well, nobody knows. And sometimes I can answer them.